Alright, hello everybody. I am Agnel Angle, and I'm getting back into the Great Ace Attorney.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was. But not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
That all? Yeah, that's all. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. I didn't know if it was gonna let me, if it was just gonna leave without me or not. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country. And in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court. Which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. I cannot imagine that, being in Sholmes's attic and it being quiet. That is, till it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. Wait, I don't remember that. I don't remember that being the cause of it. Huh, okay. Oh. Oh, look at it. It's so full. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. So from what I can gather about this room, Susato's room is back there. I gather that Runo sleeps in this room. Whether there's a bed behind where our camera's at, or he just sleeps on the floor, I don't know. They never tell us, but that's what it seems like. Also, though, did the telegram boy, like, go into Sholmes's house and then go to their stairwell? That's weird. And also, is there a door at the stairwell? I'm so confused. I don't understand. But after he'd gone... Oh, hi. Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san? Yes! Oh my goodness, okay. Is it time to leave for court already? Court? What? Let me see. What case is it today? We don't have court. I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? She is clearly not okay. Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So, shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yay! I'm ready. Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. We're not going to court, Susie. Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. Yeah, are you good, Susie? Okay, I want to look at the shovel. There's no reason. I just want to look at it. That spade has been in here since we started renting the place. Oh, that's not a spade. No, it isn't. It's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a shovel. Yeah! I don't want to dig a hole for myself, so let's leave it. Comedy gold. Right there. No, if you haven't seen the original Ace Attorney, that's a thing there too, but it's with ladders and step ladders instead of spades and shovels, so it's really cute. I love it. Speaking of that, can I look at the ladder in the back? No. I can look at the, Dharma doll. Ah, the Dharma doll I brought with me from home. Still with only one eye colored in. I said I'd color the other eye once I won my first court case here in Britain, but... But you have one, haven't you? Twice, in fact. Because I feel as though I'm still lacking as a lawyer. Yeah! I'll tell you what. Why don't you color the other eye in once you think I'm a proper full-fledged lawyer? If you insist. I love coloring. Okay, Spring at last and the weather's warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, would you like some tea, Naruto-san? Thank you, Susato-san, but I'm alright for now. The green tea Susato makes me from time to time and Iris's unique herbal infusions. This place is paradise for a true tea lover. Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think? Is it? Interesting. So this is the tea set that Susato-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. I agree, I don't like anything bitter. Tea is a Ah, goodness, what happened to me? Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruto-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know. I don't like to see you screw up your face. Oh, poor Susie. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already, you don't say. You could tidy up once in a while. Susato-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. So true. Time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. That's true. That's based. And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework. Okay, she's got him there. But, like, time spent cleaning is time not spent recording, right? So, she wins. Oh, she wins. But I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. Stomps his foot on the ground. Pouts. Let's look at her desk. Ah, this must be the telegram. Let's see. Ah! No! You mustn't look at that! Not under any circumstances! Okay, alright, I won't. Jeez. I'm sorry, Naruto-san, but you can be very mischievous at times. You can put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. He's just nosy. You know, I've never seen the inside your room here. You know, I've never seen inside your room there, Susato-san. What? Never even peeped inside. I should think so, too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. Whatever you say, young maiden. Okay. We were rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind here. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well. Yo, you got prawns? Let's go. And the anemones, too. It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea behind glass inside your room. Or the lake. Another example of Great Britain's greatness. Having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great, though, is it? That's true. That's true. It's a chore. Is that all? I think that's all that we can look at. Do I have to talk to Susie? I bet I do. Yeah, I gotta talk to Susie. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. We just... Okay. Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Oh my gosh, Susie. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. It was just a Boringo telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. Yeah, it's clearly something. You good there, Susie? I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. Alright. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. Fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him, do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. Aw, poor Natsumi. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? I'm just hoping he doesn't die. I was just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san if he stayed in London, that's all. Yeah. You mean, as regards Lord Van Zeeks? The Reaper? Yep, the Reaper. I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he would have rather had some seasickness than have stayed here and feared that the Reaper was gonna murder him. Ah, the Reaper. There we go. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Thank you. Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? Even 2 months on, the case of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the City of London, perhaps? I doubt it's the City of London. It's probably much wider scale than that. Probably the country. Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against... I didn't even mean to do that. Okay. Not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. How odd. He shows up at the same time they do. He takes on high-profile case. He comes back the next day, or day after, to take a very boring case in comparison to what he's been doing, and then he disappears for a month. Well, a month and a half. That is odd. That's strange, isn't it? That's odd. It's weird. Oh? Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before. He rage quit. Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? That's not fair! Ah, just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? Nothing. Oh, nothing. Never mind. Oh my gosh, what, you think he's being targeted? That would be odd. He doesn't know him. I mean, yeah, he's racist, but like, he doesn't, like, why would he obsess? Sorry. Oh. I could let that play all day. That's so funny. Actually, hold on. I bet I can do better than him. It's out of tune, so that'll be even better for what I'm gonna do. I bet I'm a better violinist than Herlock Sholmes. It's been a long time since I've touched it. At least, for a long period of time. Trying to figure out what it was he was playing. Yeah. Bet you didn't know I have one of those. Violin intermission. Done. It's really funny though. Listen to him go. Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. I forgot about her dialogue. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Iris. What is that horrible noise? Iris? What is it, Runo? What is that terrible noise? Sounds like a cat being strangled. How dare you say that about Sholmes' playing? He plays violin wonderfully. Ah, yes, you noticed that, did you? Uh-huh, sure did. Look at him go! The bow isn't even moving. Elliot in the best form this morning, it seems. Yeah. I'm amazed that he's awake. Oh no! Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. A good morning to die, perhaps. Oh my god, I love him. I love him so much. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before was painful. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Oh my goodness. Damn this blanched existence! He's crying! He is crying! This poor guy. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. How dare you curse in front of Iris? I'm afraid I don't understand. Yeah. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Oh no. Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me. If it's not too much to trouble. Not too much trouble. This poor guy. He's miserable. Ah! Yeah! Look at him! Oh look, it's Wagahai. Wagahai! Hi, Wagahai! Good morning, boy. Ah! Gives me joy. There must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did he get there? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful! Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Ah, I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. No shit. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it? We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Naruto. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Why, next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suite. What do you mean invited? Don't you have to go through there every day? I'm like so confused at the layout of their house. That's scarily plausible, actually. We're gonna talk to Iris. Hi, Iris! Yay, Iris! Mr. Natsumi's cat seems to have settled into his new home then. They adopted his cat. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Waggy. Oh no. It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses. Shut up! Oh! Okay. If Mr. Natsumi had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could. Pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason! Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Yeah, terrible things. Well, I don't mind because Waggy's adorable. Yeah, you tell him. Yes, he really is. Oh, yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You are observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. Yeah, here's our music. What is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. Yeah! And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. Even iron. It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make— Just shut up, Mr. Naruhodo. How dare you demean Iris's inventions? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Exactly. Oh, I think it's wonderful. Shut up. Shut up, Mr. Naruhodo. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. So there must be a door at the end of the stairwell. Gotcha. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Oh, she's the best character. I love her. Anyway, what happens? Mr. Sholmes, could I ask for your opinion about this? You lure me to raise my languid head with the promise of some mental exaltation. Yet in my morbid depression, I am confronted with the most mundane of problems. Your dead best friend. Oh. My mind finds greater stimulation in the unforgiving monotony of the floor than in your miserable offering. Your dead best friend. Always glad to help. Oh, my head weighs heavy on my shoulders. Poor Sholmes, what's wrong? Wanting to die? Poor man. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellissonant tones would make flowers bloom. I highly doubt it. It would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavoured to no avail. That sound, my tone is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever! No more recitals of unbridled emotion! Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Early? Oh, no. Don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time. I mean, for me, that was me playing after, like, I haven't played the violin regularly in, like, 3 years. And that's a stretch. So, you kind of remember how you held the bow. If he hadn't played in 6 months, he would remember how to hold the bow to where it wasn't squeaking. That's just me, though. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man. The next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Ah! Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what else is left, for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction, perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? That's it. Mr. Jones, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Mr. Sutter. Your observational skills do you credit. That's like the most obvious thing. Oh no, Mr. Sherms, they pale into insignificance when compared to yours. Yeah, keep stroking his ego. That'll make him feel better. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? Yeah, really. You mean Early's great analytoscope? That's at Windybanks now. Sorry? Is it a windy bank? That's good. No, Windybanks, the pawnbrokery. The prawn brokery. They sell prawns. That I would go there so much. Pawn? What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly. What? Why? But is it a very important machine for your work? Oh, she's crying! I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. I mean, like, the way that Sholmes described it, it was his attic, right? So are they paying him rent? It sounds like you have to enter this room to get up there. So that would mean that they're paying him rent. So shouldn't that be enough? Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbrokery has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? Doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? How pawnbroking works. Hey, I know you're depressed, but you want to talk to us about pawnbrokery? What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? What's a bank? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily throughout the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windybanks, you see? And there's a lot of stuff getting in the way. A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? It's cool. Of course, you have to watch Early with it. Yeah, sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Early? What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Sholmes. Poor guy. Oh. Oh, what was that? Wagahai? What was that? Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin! That sounds like a nightmare. This is why you should have a case. I think he thinks it's a toy. No! What's he doing to it? Oh dear! Mr. Sholmes' precious violin! Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised. Okay, I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now. Oh my god, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Early? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Okay. Oh. So this is the violin, is it? Also, that bow is just standing. That's not how bows work. That's not how they work. What, is it a magnet? It's a Stradivarius. One of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. Doesn't really look like anything special to me. Yeah, it's been torn up by the cat now. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. That is so lucky. A Stradivarius? Those are crazy. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. No idea how much that is. How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have ever made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No! My gosh. There's none! Mr. Sholmes. What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? Well, yes, a cat just tore it up. What do you mean? You rubbing it? Are you rubbing it in my face now? Rubbiting? Good grief, I had a stroke, I think. What do you mean, Mrs. Otto? Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. Huh? And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Yeah, the cat did it. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? Renowned for deduction. And he can't even tell that his violin is different. I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a voila, called a viola. Okay, here's my hot take of the day. Again, you would not struggle to play that bad if you are good at violin on a viola. It's just a little bit bigger. Like, you would remember how to hold the bow. It wouldn't sound right, but it wouldn't sound like that. Either way, it's hilarious. But, just saying. What? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright? You're right! You are quite right! This isn't my faithful Stradivarius! So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then? No, clearly not. I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. Sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Iris is always the one to ask. Iris will always know. What did you mean by a mix-up? Iris. Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Winterbank's until last week. At the pawnbroker's? Not Mr. Sholmes's beloved musical partner. He's so confident about it. There's a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea! Shut up, Susanoo! He was being sarcastic. Sholmes wasn't. He is serious. Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. He didn't have enough money? Oh, but it's not desperate. Things are not desperate. But it would appear that Mr. Winterbank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. A viola is not a fiddle. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. Okay, that's good. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. A fine state of affairs this is, and why I must say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time. Yeah. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbroker as an extremely secure vault. Well, come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Have they eaten? Sorry. Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect. Pressing your coffee so obtusely. What? Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct? What, eating? Considering the urgency with which we are faced, you are the one that got swindled. Just go. By yourself. Are you capable of that? We must visit Mr. Winterbank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Miss Usato, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your eggs even more obtusely. God, I can't read him today. All right, say no more. Let's go then. I'm sticking a piece of bacon in my pocket, though. He's totally the type, though, right? Don't worry, Runo. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. You are a saint, honestly. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker's looks like. What happens if I present this now? I must stop you there, Mr. Naruhodo. Unofficial I may be, but I am nevertheless a professional. I couldn't examine such a humdrum item. That's why. How dare you? Oh, for anything less than £5. Oh, no, I didn't really want you to examine it. I just wanted to ask if, my dear fellow, as a professional consulting detective, I couldn't possibly venture an opinion. For anything less than £5, he just really needs money. Are you perhaps hoping to purchase a new telescope in the near future, Mr. Sholmes? No, a new microscope. Indeed I am. As you know, it has long been an ambition of mine to discover a new star and name it for myself. Because your earthly stardom isn't enough. Oh, that's funny. I never read that. Alright, let's go then. Well, I guess we go outside. Yeah! There it is! It's already been 2 months since we started taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. I still can't quite believe it. Never expected things would turn out like this. Oh, I know! To actually be sharing accommodation with the world's greatest detective? If I ever find myself before a court of law now, I will have not one regret. What? I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be happy to defend you, of course, unless you did it. Okay. Look at all the different things in the windows of this shop. that's Windybank's, the pawnbrokery. Looks much smarter than a pawnbroker's in Japan, doesn't it? Yes, you're right. I find pawn shops at home rather inapproachable, personally. Reminds me of tearfully parting with my favorite fountain pen. I felt so miserable. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, Mr. Naruto. Aw, poor little guy. He's just a little fella. Alright, let's go to the pawnbrokery. The prawn brokery, if you will. Yeah, look at it. It looks so cool in here. 15th April. Look at it! It's so cool. So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my! There are all sorts of tools and contraptions in here that I've never laid eyes on before. Oh, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this, even though they're cramped and cluttered. And you hate messes. Oh, yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. Oh, he got his coat back on. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging by those fists he's throwing around. Judging by the spark of fury in his eyes. Oh. Is that... Okay, what does he sound like? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, welcome back. Welcome back. I can't... Oh, Mr. Sholmes, welcome back. That's almost the judge, though. I have the same voice for men. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, welcome back. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, this is the, an artist at work. I feel like since his name is Windybank, he needs to be taking in a lot of air when he speaks. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, welcome back. Do you hear that brazen welcome? He's so mad. Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruto, and it's time to inform Mr. Windybank of our ire. Come! The fight is afoot. We aren't part of this. You're a grown man, do it by yourself. Nope, we have to do it. Alright, well. I don't even know if it's funny to look around in here right now. Oh, look at this. What are you doing, my dear fellows? We are not here to browse for interesting curios. We have come to teach this broker a lesson. This bloke a lesson. Oh, but there are just so many fascinating items. Looks as though we'll have to talk to Mr. Windybank first before you can explore in here, Mrs. Sato. I mean, we've had plenty of free time. You can come back. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago, although now it's damaged irreparably. Yes? This second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windybank. The gun of the wood is different, it has holes in it, it's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There is only one way to make amends. I shall have to take my own life. Okay. Yeah. Trigger warning. They're playing goofy music to this. I mean... It feels very manipulative, right? Like, for sure. I don't think that would be necessary, do you? If I may just say one thing before I pop off. God. Ah, yes. God, Sholmes is handling this like a master. It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. Sorry. Yeah, embarrass him. As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, "Ah, here it is." You did. And when I turned to controvert you. You had taken the viola and left, sir. You idiot! However, there can be no doubt the blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. Yeah, you should have walked outside. I'm like, yo, that's the wrong thing, you idiot. But he wanted the Stradivarius, so he kept it. He's a crook. I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, stop, dear fellow. The fault is mine. Finally, he's serious about it. Thank you. Whew. You are ridiculous. This guy's insane. He's unhinged. It would appear that the fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windybank. Evidently my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Sherlock Holmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? I do believe you may be right, sir. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. Yeah, it's a little bit of both right now, actually. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers, obviously. I needn't remind you of the peculiar collection of items you've brought through my door in the past. Oh? Peculiar items? In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work. The novels of Sherlock Holmes or some such. Oh my! A new full-fledged novel? And unpublished? A story I've yet to read, you mean? Ah! Forgive me! Not again! Wait! Before you die, you must tell me! Okay. I'm sorry. I like dark humor. I don't like suicide jokes, but that's good. It's really good. The fact that they are like, they obviously tell that this is manipulation, and she's just completely ignoring it. It's really good. Oh, I love it. But yeah, it's a little bit lighter because he is doing it for manipulative purposes, and he's not actually, he doesn't mean it. Oh my god. I must know more! Tell me everything! Wow, Susato sounds really fired up now. We better be careful. Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day, where did the gun go? One day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windybank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir. Not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. The latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Me, by the way. I beg your pardon, a manuscript? You wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes's latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you. On my life, which I don't really care about that much anyway. Like, just saying. Come on. This is all very strange. Yeah. Yep. This screenshot right here. Yeah. This depicts this entire scene. This is all very, very strange. I wonder, could I ask you something? Oh, a gentleman from the East, I see, because that's all we ever care about. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6p for it. What? I'm not telling it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Aha! But for your splendid attire, ma'am. 5 guineas, no less. The colours are exquisite, the design exotic, Eastern artistry at its finest, I may say. Oh my, 5 guineas, you say? But then I wouldn't have anything else to wear. How interesting! Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here? Because you have. Because her outfit's cuter. Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London. Yes, sir, indeed. Many of my customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure storage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me plus the agreed interest, their items are happily returned. But what happens if they don't pay you the money? Then the items are offered for sale in my shop. As you can see on the shelves behind me. His model glitched out a little bit for a second there. So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed, then? That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all. The very idea, Mr. Winterbeck, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Shut up, Sholmes. As if you aren't guilty of doing that literally this morning. Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only 30 minutes ago. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measures? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Winterbank has installed here in his shop. I call it the red-handed recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Winterbank? What was that deep sigh about? Alright, red-handed recorder. What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are 2 just below the ceiling. We can't see him. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. How do you know what that looks like, Susato? Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film. And every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop. Here I have an example I can show you. 4 a.m. I'm glad you keep the 4 a.m. one. Ah, yes, a print from the cameras had to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness. How convenient. Really? That's extraordinary. Sholmes is just built different. Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look. So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. Of course, unless they came in other than within the 30-minute window mark. But did you not say that the photographic prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madam. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say that would be a cruel twist of fate. Oh my goodness. I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late. I beg your pardon, Mr. Winterbank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word. It's the cost of the film, sir. Didn't he just say that he made it? So is he making him pay for his own film? You must graciously place not 1, but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older. He's good at making impractical inventions, huh? Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price. Oh, heaven help us. Okay. Awesome. Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Goodness, it's very red, isn't it? Stradivarius. Ah, the very thing! Thank you, Mr. Windybank. I'll give you back this damaged one in return. Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop. Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer. Really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt. Thank you, Ryunosuke. Fear not. Sorry. There's no bullets in it. Oh, no. I've only loaded a single bullet so no one but myself could possibly be harmed. I bet you there's not a single bullet in that thing. That's not really what I meant. Good day to you then, Mr. Windybank. I'm not ready to go yet. It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes. What I say as I hold a gun to my own head. Dude, you're crazy. He's unhinged. So, Mr. Naruto, now we can explore at last. We sure can. And he just calmly puts the gun away. He's a lunatic. He's doing it clearly for manipulative purposes. Look at this. Whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. Ah. There's a small catch just here, look. And? We're going to open it, aren't we? Ah, it took a picture of us. Oh my, that's amazing. It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism. Which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before, yeah. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing? No, nothing at all. Why is he so scared? Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this elsewhere. Huh? Where? This? Now what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? It seems to have two little windows for looking through. Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What you are looking at is a stereoscope. A stereoscope? Fascinating! It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourselves. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me a moment while I just have a look. Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically as it were, you need to be cross-eyed. What? However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today. Oh, right then, I'm going to try it. She's not even close to where the eye holes were. Ah! Mr. Naruto, you must see! At once! Oh, alright then. So, I need to be cross-eyed? Like I'm trying to look at my own nose? Or you can just look through the machine, I believe. Hey, it's the juror! What the? I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Whenever I cross my eyes, it goes too blurry. I can't see it. Yes, the sense of depth is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. Also, I have to point out, too, this is some Agnel Angle lore for you. I can shake my eyes. I don't do it often. I haven't done it in a long time. I just tried it. It worked, but I don't show myself on camera, so sorry. But yeah, take my word for it. I can shake my eyes. Me and my mom both can. It's weird. I inherited that from her. She was so proud when she found out I could do it too. Don't know how you find out. I cannot remember. I was too young when I learned that I could. But yeah, I can. So there's that. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Oh my goodness, hours? Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic? It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. He doesn't know how it works. Oh. Let me go read up on it first. Okay, let's look at the weird calendar. Oh, we get a zoom in on the calendar? That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? In a place like this, it kind of blends, honestly. 15th April, today's date. That's it? We did a zoom for that? Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Okay, thank you. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. You're up till midnight? Dang. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windybank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when the agreed storage period has passed without repayment, articles are forfeited, you see. So I have to keep a close eye on the date. It is something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Oh, yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. Okay. Look at this! Look at this lovely big shiny box, Bee! That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such things in your own country. Oh my! Yes, but I've certainly never seen someone so large before. Yeah. Stumbled all over that line, but that's okay. Shall we listen a while? Oh, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. Thank you. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. What song was this? I don't think it's a song from the soundtrack. Very pretty though. Thought we would highlight it. I'm cutting the audio down just a smidgen from what it was. I feel like it was a little loud. Okay, this particular specimen is of the larger variety commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There's a metal disc inside in which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. My goodness! What a simply delightful machine! Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently, with the development of the gramophone, of course. True. Science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. During this time? Yeah! It was crazy during this time, wasn't it? I guess we'll look at the shelves. What an assortment of things are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks, and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine. Those are forfeited items, all for sale by the pawnbroker. Yeah, everything here is. Mostly. You can sell to pawnbrokeries, right? You can sell to pawn shops. But, yeah. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn, or colloquially pop, an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be repaid with, interest. If not, he is free to display it in his shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh, yes. Now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. I doubt anyone here would buy it. My treasured university uniform? Never! It embodies my student spirit. Okay. Do we know who this is? I do. What? Only a tuppence for it? That ain't fair and you know it. That article's barely worth a penny, miss. Oh, whoops. That article's barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more. I was doing an impression of you. Do you like it? Whoops. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's huge, though. That's huge. It's crazy. Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it? I've seen all I need to see, young girl. Girl. Okay, hi, Gru. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. Yeah. Oh, Yes, it's that young lady from McGilded's trial 2 months ago. Yeah, our theme song. Yeah. Her name is Gina Lestrade, me lord. She's a chancer. Ah, we remember. Yeah! The gun. I love the gun. Hi, Gina! Hi, Gina! Who is that? Gordon Bennett, you lot! Hi! Oh, has she kept it? Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well. Why are you loading a gun? What? You remember me then, do you? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us? Nothing to eat? Come to pop that black weasel sort of coat you have you? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? Guess it's plain compared to what everybody else is wearing. Ah, good day, unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Hi. So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windybank on your behalf. How nice, but also does he know the worth of anything? If he managed to grab that viola instead of his Stradivarius violin and not tell the difference in quality, let alone, you know, the type of instrument, then I don't trust him with value. Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Sholmes is stuck up? Huh? Get out of my business. Go on, I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I'll happily remove myself from your presence. Gosh, can't stand her. He slams the door behind him. He's really done it. He's gone. He left. I'm sorry, but as I said, there's really no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hands? Some kind of metal disc? And you, go on, leave me alone. Oh, Mr. Strong, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest. I mean, we're literally just here shopping. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. That's because she's got her eyes closed. She's pretending she's not getting glared at. Whatever. Aww, cute. Oh, we're gonna talk to her anyway. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. What is that supposed to mean? Yeah, well I am, alright. I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. A problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that, well, I thought you were poor. I'm so surprised. I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I could see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo? Alright then, I'm just gonna come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Yeah? What else am I supposed to do with it? Suppose. Sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Mr. Strahd? Not this time, alright? I swear! That thing belongs to me! The disc that Mr. Windybank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Alright. Will do. Don't know why we're prying. Mr. Windybank, what exactly is this metal disc that Mr. Strahd has brought in? I believe we just got a lesson on that. It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Oh, this is a music disc, you see. For use inside a music box. Big brain. In a music box? What? You don't even know what a music box is? You Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh? I'll give her a pass. She doesn't know any better. I know what a music box is. I've just never seen one of the discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going and beautiful music plays. It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on this disc? Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. That's a packet of lies! He told me he did! He said it was, well... He? Who? Never you mind! It just ain't right, that's all! That disc's worth good money, I know it is! Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Poor Gina. Anyway, let's gossip about her. She's been in before, of course. This little tatterdemalion. What? I see. I brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. And I've bought it anyway. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. Clearly. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if only it were that simple. Sorry? What do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Ah, a storage ticket. So, Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. What? She's making use of a business. I don't... Okay. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. You know, how pawnbrokeries work. But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Winterbank. It's none of our business, but do tell us. I'm nosy. Literally. What? Hey! How dare you! Little scamper's wearing it, ma'am. I'll kill you before you can. It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. What? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc, then? How does that come into all this? Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn. The girl and I could agree on a price. To pawn or to sell? I'm confused. I thought you said that Mr. Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket, and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat, which you returned to her care, as I'd understood it. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... Yeah, the pockets. What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? He literally looked her up and down. Ah, I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, madam. Ma'am, same thing. And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up! I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? No. Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man! It's me old man's, ain't it? Why are you asking us? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. To be fair, though, a lot of her clothes don't fit her. Because, you know, she's kind of an orphan. Like, just saying. She doesn't really have access to to be picky with what clothing she can get. Just saying. So it wouldn't be surprising. Like, if she found a nice coat it would not be surprising if she got it despite it not fitting. Or like if someone donated her a coat, you know, it doesn't matter if it fits perfectly or not, right? It's a coat, you're gonna wear it. But, what would I know? I mean, I've never been an orphan, so I couldn't tell you. Especially in 1899 to 1900, I've not been an orphan. So, it's probably a lot different then. I love her theme song. Oh. Alright, new character. I think I did his voice last time. Out of my way, please. Yeah, this guy. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Oh my god, I hate him so much. I hate him. Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. Hi. What's your problem, eh? There's no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I've a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. What? Look, ain't it obvious I ain't done talking with him yet? If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Base, Regina. Well, you're an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy to even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker! Yes, sir. I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you. No. Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Okay, show the proof that it belongs to you. She had the ticket. To be fair, he might be claiming she pickpocketed it. Whoops. Oh my. No, that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you rascal. And needless to say, any music box discs, too. Okay. It might be his. No! You can't have it! You just can't! It's me own man's. Or it was. Or now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruto. This is juicy stuff. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. It is our business, after all. It's really not. It's just not our business. Miss Lestrade is what the gentleman is saying. What you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear it. I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street minding my own business when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. That's what you think. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these back slum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on! Why is everyone thinking it's me? Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one. Okay, you know what? She got a point. Also, would he want to wear something like that? Just saying, like, it's not flashy. He seems very flashy. He even commented on how he loves his fashion stints, but that's a very dull coat for him. I'm sorry, but he's got money, and you don't. And you're a woman. But no one's going to believe you. What about evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence I stole something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. You what? Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Winterbank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant! I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh. I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. For no reason. But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. But why not take a name from them? You're the only one that's gonna see it. Great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. Very unsafe though. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. The ticket. Good sir. Might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course. It's Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. But do you write down the watchword anywhere? Because if it's not written on the ticket, then how the hell did Gina know it? Like, that... This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. But, okay, so either Gina somehow figured out the watchword, because it wouldn't be written on the ticket, or he gave it to her without asking for the watchword like an idiot. It's one of the two. A watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Winterbank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposited items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. Since when have you been there? Oh my god. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all. It's true. Yes, well, anyway. That's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you correctly the correct watchword, you return the article. How the hell did Gina know the watchword? That's right, sir. Yes. Just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. And I have supplied you with the information you require already. But for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on 15th February. With a watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. I wonder how Miss Lestrade came to those same conclusions. But how? Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for debate. But how did you know it? Like, how did they both know it? Like, that's room for doubt. Okay. Oh, ugh. I think we're done talking to him. That's what we're opening with. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Don't know why I feel the need to tell everyone that. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Why does he shimmy? I don't understand it. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices. Okay. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? That's what I'm saying! Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first, before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, although many people probably don't care to learn my name. I'm a lawyer, well, a student of law, really. My name is Susato Mikatoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. I added a word, but you get the picture. I see. My name is Benedict, yes. Eggert Benedict. Ace Attorney, really? Really? Entente. He's so refined in how he holds himself, now he speaks, but he does theatrical gesticulation sometimes, which is weird. That name is pretty sus. A lot of names in Ace Attorney are pretty sus. Now, to the matter at hand. What the hell is he doing? My overcoat! Return it at once. To someone with the style to carry it off. A black, plain overcoat. Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him. Yeah! Good reference. good reference. Good shit. Oh. He's got it now. Already. He's got several layers on. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Eggert Benedict, sir, because you're rich. No one has asked why she knew it, and why they both knew the watchword. With such reasonable rates of interest, I forgot my voice. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back. Poor Gina. This is why I hate grown-ups. That's because I'm a diver. Everyone thinks that makes me a liar. And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir, here's the disc for you. Just this one? Pardon, sir? Uh-oh. I was expecting another. That is, I deposited another. Expecting? Okay. Another disc? Oh, oh dear. Please don't pull it out again. I forgot to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says who, eh? I know nothing about it. Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. I hate you so much. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. Oh. Ah, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? Oh my gosh. You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. From where? He's got gloves on. Oh my. Yes, there's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. Mom must have scratched his finger on them through his gloves. They didn't think that one through, did they? I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me old man. So you're not having it. Oi, you, take it. Me? If I ain't onto it, then have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. That ain't gonna change anything. Miss Lestrade, why is this disc so important to her? Well, we have it now. Wonder how long. You there, in the black livery, hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't! He's lying! Grown-ups are all liars! What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Charles? Sholmes, help. Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. Oh, why is he sad? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. Oh my god. It would seem that my inferences are correct. I know it's inferences, but I accidentally said inferences, and I think that's funny. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again? My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized? Nope. How much could I pawn it for? Commoditized. Commoditized. Okay. Seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it will help us resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Leave it. Because guess what? I'm stopping there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, give me a like and a subscribe, please. Anything helps, any kind of engagement. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next one where we crack down on Sholmes' deductions. It'll be awesome. It's a good time.